World War II was a conflict defined not only by armies and tanks, but by what happened in the skies above Europe, North Africa, and beyond. Few nations invested as heavily in aviation technology during the war as Nazi Germany. From the opening blitzkrieg campaigns to the desperate final defenses of the Reich, German aircraft played a central role in shaping the course of the war. Germany entered World War II with one of the most advanced and experienced air forces in the world. The Luftwaffe was built around speed, coordination, and innovation. German engineers pushed boundaries in aerodynamics, engine performance, and weapons integration, producing some of the most iconic aircraft ever flown. Fighters, bombers, transports, reconnaissance planes, gliders, and experimental jets all became part of Germany's aerial arsenal. In this video, we present a complete visual catalog of every major German aircraft used during World War II, tracing their roles, evolution, and impact on the battlefield. From early biplanes to revolutionary jet fighters, this is the full story of German air power from 1939 to 1945. At the heart of the Luftwaffe was its fighter force. German fighters were designed to achieve air superiority, escort bombers, intercept enemy aircraft, and dominate the skies over Europe. The backbone of Germany's fighter arm was the Messerschmitt Bf 109. Introduced before the war, it became one of the most produced fighters in history. Fast, agile, and heavily armed for its size, the Bf 109 served on every front from Poland to the Eastern Front and North Africa. Over the years, it evolved through numerous variants, receiving stronger engines, improved armament, and better aerodynamics. Alongside it flew the Focke-Wulf FW-190, introduced later in the war. Known for its rugged construction and powerful radial engine, the FW-190 excelled at low and medium altitude combat. It proved especially effective against Allied bombers and became a favorite among German pilots. Earlier fighters included the Heinkel He-51 and Arado R-68, biplanes that were already obsolete by the start of the war but still saw limited service during the early campaigns and in training roles. Germany also experimented with heavy fighters such as the Messerschmitt Bf 110. Designed as a long-range escort and bomber-destroyer, it initially saw success but struggled against more agile single-engine fighters. Despite this, the Bf 110 found renewed usefulness as a night fighter equipped with radar. Late in the war, Germany introduced revolutionary jet-powered fighters. The most famous was the Messerschmitt Me 262, the world's first operational jet fighter. Faster than any Allied aircraft, it posed a serious threat to bomber formations but arrived too late and in too small numbers to change the outcome of the war. Other jet and rocket interceptors included the Heinkel He-162, designed as an emergency fighter, and the Messerschmitt Me 163 Comet, a rocket-powered interceptor with incredible speed but extremely limited endurance. German bombers were designed to support fast-moving ground forces rather than conduct long-range strategic bombing. This philosophy shaped the Luftwaffe's aircraft designs throughout the war. The Heinkel He-111 became one of Germany's most recognizable bombers. Used extensively during the early campaigns and the Battle of Britain, it served as a medium bomber, torpedo bomber, and transport aircraft. Another key bomber was the Dornier Do 17, nicknamed the Flying Pencil due to its slim fuselage. Though fast, it lacked payload capacity and was gradually replaced by newer designs. The Junkers Ju-88 was one of the most versatile aircraft of the war. It served as a bomber, dive bomber, night fighter, reconnaissance aircraft, and even a torpedo bomber. Its adaptability made it invaluable as Germany's situation worsened. Germany also fielded the Heinkel He-177, its only heavy bomber. Plagued by engine problems and mechanical failures, it never achieved its intended potential. For close air support, the Luftwaffe relied heavily on the Junkers Ju-87 Stuka dive bomber. Its distinctive siren and precision bombing made it terrifying during early campaigns, though it became vulnerable once enemy air defenses improved. Ground attack aircraft like the Henschel HS-129 were designed specifically to destroy tanks and armored vehicles, especially on the Eastern Front. Reconnaissance aircraft played a crucial role in intelligence gathering, artillery spotting, and battlefield awareness. Aircraft such as the Focke-Wulf FW-189, with its distinctive twin-boom design and excellent visibility, became one of the most effective observation platforms of the war. The Henschel HS-126 and modified versions of bombers and fighters were also used extensively for reconnaissance duties. For maritime patrol and anti-shipping missions, Germany employed aircraft like the Focke-Wulf FW-200 Condor, which hunted Allied convoys over the Atlantic. Its long range made it a significant threat to shipping until Allied countermeasures improved. Floatplanes such as the Arado R-196 operated from battleships and cruisers, conducting scouting and patrol missions over the seas. Transport aircraft were essential for moving troops, supplies, and equipment across vast distances. The most famous German transport aircraft was the Junkers Ju-52, a rugged tri-motor plane used for airborne assaults, supply missions, and evacuations. It played a key role during operations such as the invasion of Crete. Larger transports like the Junkers Ju-90 and Ju-290 were used for long-range logistics and reconnaissance. Germany also relied on smaller liaison and utility aircraft, including the Fieseler Fi 156 Storch, famous for its short takeoff and landing capabilities. It was used for reconnaissance, medical evacuation, and command transport. German airborne operations relied heavily on gliders, which allowed silent insertion of troops behind enemy lines. The DFS-230 assault glider was used during daring operations such as the capture of Fort Eben and Mael. Larger gliders like the Gotha Go-242 and Messerschmitt Me 321 Gigant were developed to carry heavy equipment, vehicles, and troops. While innovative, these gliders were vulnerable and difficult to deploy as Allied air superiority increased. Germany operated a wide range of training aircraft to prepare pilots for combat. Aircraft such as the Booker Bu-131 Jungmann and Bu-133 Jungmeister were used for basic flight training. Advanced trainers included modified versions of fighters and bombers to prepare pilots for frontline service. As the war progressed and fuel shortages worsened, training quality declined, contributing to the loss of experienced pilots. In the final years of the war, Germany invested heavily in experimental aircraft in hopes of reversing its fortunes. Beyond the Me-262 and Me-163, projects included flying wing designs like the Horten Ho-229, which featured stealth-like characteristics decades ahead of its time. Other experimental bombers, interceptors, and vertical takeoff concepts were tested but never reached operational service before the war ended. German aircraft during World War II represented both technological brilliance and strategic miscalculation. While Germany produced some of the most advanced aircraft of the era, limited resources, production challenges, and Allied air superiority ultimately undermined their effectiveness. From the early dominance of the Bf-109 and Ju-87 to the desperate deployment of jet fighters in the final months, the story of German aviation is one of innovation under pressure. These machines shaped the air war over Europe and left a lasting legacy in aviation history. If you enjoyed this complete breakdown, drop your favorite aircraft in the comments and subscribe to the Military Index for more in-depth World War II arsenals and machine catalogs.